brief moment, I thought, this is it. Faces of my family flashed before me, and I could do nothing but surrender. The rough roads I had crossed were a reminder of my car rental agreement. No outback adventures this time. That at least helped narrow down my choices. After the chill of the mountains, the warmth of sand and sea felt like the right direction. Bidding farewell to the mountains, I began my journey toward the south coast of New South Wales. Around halfway, I stopped in Tarago for lunch. At the cafe, an elderly gentleman sat beside me, Keith Woodman, the owner of Trapper's Bakery. We had a warm chat. He asked about my travels, wished me luck, and proudly mentioned how his bakery staff, Indians and Pakistanis, work together like family. Just outside, a classic car and bike show was in full swing. About an hour into the drive, while crossing a bridge, I noticed stones arranged in a pattern along the riverbed. It reminded me of a documentary I had once seen where Aboriginal people built similar structures to trap fish. I pulled over for a closer look. Not entirely sure if it was the same, I asked the gentleman nearby what he was up to. He smiled and said he was panning for gold. Turns out this river was once part of the 19th century gold rush, and lately the old practice has found a quiet revival. After watching the kookaburra and the pelican finish their meals, I wandered off for a nearby walk. The walk is an ideal introduction to Booderee. Manyanga Varaga Dugan means white bellied sea eagle's home camp in the Durga language of the Wreck Bay Aboriginal people. The walk is a self guided tour of Booderee's plants, animals, culture, and history told through the signs you will discover along the way. An endemic to the rainforests of eastern Australia, the fleshy three-valved fruit are orange when they ripen and split to reveal an orange-red aril with a brown-skinned, fleshy green seed within. A wide range of birds, including rainbow lorikeet, are attracted to the fruit. A rainforest shrub which produces blue olive shaped berries and spectacular bell shaped flowers which often appear on the plant together. The special markings on the trunk are made by the larvae of a very small grey moth called the scribbly gum moth. The eggs of this moth are laid between the old and the new season's bark. The larvae tunnel through the innermost layers of the bark, leaving a trail behind them as they eat the sapwood. The trails get wider as the larvae get fatter. When the trees shed their bark, you can see where the secret code makers have been. Scribbly gum hollows are safe and cozy homes for sugar gliders, brush-tailed possums, owls, and other birds. They usually feed separately on gum tree leaves at night, but during the day live in large groups clustered together to protect themselves from predators like birds. The old man Banksia stands like a weathered storyteller of the bush. Its scruffy cones give it that unmistakable old man look, gnarled, wild haired, and full of character. Yet its flower is surprisingly elegant, a soft golden brush glowing against all that ruggedness. Due to its vibrant red color, the botanical name of this plant means seen from afar or beautiful. Flowering in spring, it is also the official floral emblem of New South Wales. Part tree, part grass, part living sculpture. With a fire scarred trunk and a burst of spiky leaves, it stands like a quiet elder of the bush. The cliffs at Devil's Elbow tower 60 meters above the sea and plummet deeply into it. If you are lucky, you may catch a glimpse of fur seals catching fish. This island is home to 5,000 mating pairs of little penguins, all requiring a burrow to raise their chicks. The 5.4-kilometer walk ends at the beach. A perfect way to cool off and relax. The clear waters of Jervis Bay tempted me to try out snorkeling, but all the tours were booked. So I opted for a kayak lesson for the next day. Having learned to swim only this year and still not feeling confident in the ocean, I drove to a nearby town to practice in a pool. The waves kept spilling over the edge, giving me a fair taste of the ocean too. Just a block away from the bakery was something that felt straight out of a retro movie. First built as a community hall in 1913 for the employees of the Dent family, who were local shipbuilders, it has since been used as a church, school, library, dance and concert venue, and now a permanent cinema. It is said this was one of the most photographed buildings in the Jervis Bay area. I couldn't wait to watch the movie later that evening. I made a light dinner, knowing I would be treating myself to hot chocolate and popcorn at the movies. The waters of Jervis Bay looked inviting, and I felt equal parts excited and nervous. Our guide, Dane, fitted us with safety gear, walked us through the basics, and even offered to take our pictures throughout the tour before leading us into the water. Knowing that Dane had my back, I felt relaxed. After almost an hour, we took a break and noticed things washed ashore, such as jellyfish and a lightweight porous volcanic rock that likely originated from volcanoes in New Zealand. We got ready for our next session, but the weather had changed. The winds picked up and the waves grew bigger. The choppy waters made me nervous, and before I could steady myself, my worst fear came true. My kayak flipped. For a brief moment, I thought, this is it. Faces of my family flashed before me, and I could do nothing but surrender. My panic eased the moment I caught hold of my kayak and spotted Dane and the others racing towards me. This really was a full experience. It's striking how, even though I knew the life jacket would keep me afloat, a small change in the external conditions triggered old fears. In an instant, reason disappeared, panic took over, and that loss of balance and everything that followed came from that moment. Time to move on.